You look at what the family system was, even here in the West. One man used to be able to do one job in a factory or a coal mining position or whatever, and he would be able to sustain an entire household. One woman used to be able to nurture an entire family, bring the children up in a value system that they saw fit, and everybody universally agreed with that. Then the entire family system was torn apart because the women were made to believe that they have to be equal. So they want to go to factories too because they can. And so they stepped out and they went to the factories. And the question is, who was taking care of the children when that happened? Oh, then they brought in TVs and games and plenty of channels to get them busy. Now there are 2 adults working full-time jobs, barely making ends meet as of today. Like that's the reality of what we're living right now. Children are in daycare centers or after-school clubs, and the government is very happy to pay for that childcare. Ask yourself why the government is happy to pay for that childcare. Why are they okay to support you when childcare vouchers or system, I'm talking about the Western countries where we live, from as young age as 6 months to 9 months old, 1 year old, they're saying send your children to centers because they need to have the children. They need to have their hands on our children, right? Because they have their own agenda as to what needs to be taught to the kids and how they need to be integrated to the society that they live in.
This is a real concern, especially as the Transformers movement is currently being pushed hard on Western citizens regardless of their culture, religious beliefs, or general way of life.
You're spitting.
Can I ask, what age did you meet your husband?
4 years ago, so when I was 24.
Yeah, good age. But that's like you found a good horse, you backed that horse, and you stuck by him.
It depends on the culture. Like, I come from poverty. I didn't have much to bargain with. I'm in Miami now, and I see a lot of the girls, you're born with status, value as women. Like, you're already hot. You have boobs, you have ass. Social media really glorifies how you look. So therefore, we already feel like we're 10s. But the problem is that deteriorates when the guy meets you and you're not smart, and you don't have common sense, you don't have wits. That slowly dwindles down. Like, the looks go away, because there's other girls that are going to be hotter and who's willing to do more for less. It's a corrupted culture when it comes to dating, because everyone's just kind of devaluing themselves because you don't realize you're not offering much in the relationship. You're not willing to start when he's shit. You don't want to date the potential, but then you also don't want to submit to dating 3 girls at one time with a guy. So you're kind of fucked is what I'm saying. You're spitting.
Finally, some real dating common sense from a lady with real manners, dignity, and self-respect. The problem is, you can't save these modern women from themselves. They are too far gone. You will have better luck at trying to train snails to do backflips.
Jesus can't save these hoes. Why are you trying?
Really disturbing statistic. Something around 10% of men are raising a kid that they think is theirs, but it's actually not theirs. Think about that for a second. So there's 10% of dudes are actually cocks, and they don't even know they're cocks. I'm not talking about stepdads. I'm talking about he thinks that is his son or daughter, and it's the fucking postman. Imagine if you went to the maternity ward and 1 out of every 10 kids was given to the wrong woman. How would women feel about that? They'd go,
Guys, this is 2023, you have no excuse. Being lazy is not an option. Work on yourself to be a quality man, then look for a quality woman. If you cannot find her in your country, we are global citizens now. You can become a passport bro and find yourself a traditional princess overseas who does not have the attitude of an overspoilt dragon, and a body count higher than any predator. Find a princess who will build with you and bring up a united family and legacy with values. If you choose to pick from the West, know the risks, and the risks are very high. Be wise. Wise men learn from other men's mistakes.
What about looking back over history? You've written the idea that women were oppressed throughout history is an appalling theory. They haven't had a great time, though, have they?
Who has had a great time in history?
But men have had less of a
Really,
shitty
have
time.
they? Have they? By what standard? By what standard?
Well, I'm just saying if you're a woman...
How about war? History's a rough business. Everybody had it rough. In 1895, the typical Westerner lived on less than $1 a day, which is absolute poverty by today's standard. And so people were brutally poor for almost the entire course of human history. It was rough. You say, well, did men or women have it worse? One of the things you can say is everybody had it pretty damn bad. Most of the time, men and women helped each other. Women raised their sons. Husbands protected their families. I'm not buying this whole, the sexes have been at each other's throats the entire history of mankind. It's like, no, wrong. And then one level deeper than that, I don't like the whole game. The whole game is, let's divide people into groups and contrast their oppression. Fine, play it. See what happens. You're not going to like it.
Like superhero Jordan Peterson just said, men and women helped each other. Key word, helped each other. Now let's listen to this father's advice to his daughter on the biggest day of her life.
hande gorko maɗa wala ɗon a nanga lawol a vurta o mi barrima to a emmo hunde bo o wi o wala kaloru emmude ɗiɗi o mi barrima to waddinima dumo on o wi kanjum on o heɓi a wi Allah waɗu barka a jaɓa a yaha defa amma ta o waddine bariya dow nda o wima a waɗa hunde a waɗay a andiyam a andi ɓerde am a tokkiyam on ha Allah waddima banni ngam non mi waɗi mi barka Allah on hoɓɓo jonde jam kala yimɓe wari haɗo fu dalila mo on wari ɗo barre on mo wi nasan hakkude ma be gorko maɗa ta a yerda to gorko ma wi o ɓeddan ɓangal ballumo o ɓedda to ɗoɗo wi o ɓeddan ballumo o ɓedda wona ko tokkumo kam amma ɗo miɗo yecce on to anani en jooɗi jam ko on yiɗi bo ko gorgo to mi wayayi mi waɗina to kanjum on o miɗo yeccan on kala ko on yiɗi fu ko resa mbiyam ha dunde on waɗina amma ta toñam to a toñimo wallahi en gonda dema to kanjum on yeccima ndaɗo kamɓe on saro jam bon yeccima ha yesso maɓɓe Allah
It's important we educate ourselves and respect the values and practices of other cultures, what has made them survive and prospered. We might learn something if we stay open-minded. If you feel like criticizing, it's human nature, just drop your thoughts down in the comments sections. Look after yourself, stay healthy and open-minded, let's learn and grow together.